The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, seems to be bringing its big brother role in the oil and gas industry to the fore by leading an industry coalition in support of the fight against coronavirus in Nigeria. The latest is the construction of a 200-bed emergency and infectious diseases hospital in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State.
This is what the 200-bed emergency and infectious diseases hospital in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State will look like when completed. But for now, it is still a work in progress. Stakeholders in the oil and gas industry and top government officials are here to witness the groundbreaking ceremony of what will become a health facility to strengthen the fight against COVID-19 and provide quality healthcare delivery for the entire South-South region even after the crisis. It's the third phase of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation-led oil and gas industry intervention in support of the federal government's efforts to monitor and respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, who is represented by the Group General Manager, the corporation is working with its partners in the petroleum industry to support the health sector.
The structure is based on the fact that certain aspects of the program will be allocated to each of the oil and gas industry players. Earlier, similar event in Class A and B has taken place where the epicenter is heavy, where they need immediate support, which is Lagos, and all the neighboring states in the western state. And I've been informed that the allocation of Class A and B materials for Bayelsa will be delivered through the Ajib Oil Company next week.
Although the industry-wide initiative is a collective effort, this particular project of constructing the Infectious Diseases Hospital in Bayelsa State is sponsored by the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company.
Defeating this scourge at this critical moment calls for the sort of concerted, collective and sustainable effort through collaboration between the government and the private sector, as we are witnessing here today. This project will be executed in line with the highest of standards obtainable within the health sector anywhere in the world.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, which was founded 43 years ago in 1977, is the oil corporation through which the federal government of Nigeria regulates and participates in the petroleum industry. The NNPC also supervises the oil industry on behalf of the Nigerian government. And so it's safe to say that galvanizing industry operators into action to fight COVID-19 was easy to pull off. The Minister of State for Education, Mr. Chukwuemeka Nwajobi, who is representing the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, commends the Corporate Social Responsibility Initiative by the NNPC and other donors.
As we struggle to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, I am particularly delighted because this groundbreaking foundation lay ceremony for the construction and development of an emergency and infectious diseases hospital here in Yenagoa promises to be the beginning of our nation's sojourn towards the fight against not just the COVID-19 pandemic, but all other infectious diseases on the shores of our land. I strongly believe that this laudable initiative of the oil and gas sector in the fight against COVID-19, spearheaded by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, which is a classical example of the corporate social responsibility we advocate, will go a long way in championing, sustaining and strengthening our resolve to halt the spread of COVID-19 and all other infectious diseases in Nigeria.
The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipri Silva, attests to the value and transparency of the Nigerian Oil Industry Coalition initiative in support of the fight against coronavirus.
The total commitment to this initiative amounts to $58 million, which is about 21 billion naira in the first instance. In order to ensure transparency and accountability, participating companies will execute the project and items procurement using their internal companies' established processes. All commitments under the initiative are collected in kind and a clear and transparent governance framework has been established for collecting and distributing the commitments across the country in alignment with the processes and procedures of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19.
From the time when crude oil was discovered in Nigeria in 1956, the Nigerian economy has relied heavily on the oil and gas sector. Bayelsa State, home to the Oloibiri oil field where oil was first discovered, is the preferred choice for siting the project because of its pioneering role in the history of oil and gas in Nigeria and the state's current contribution of about 40% to onshore crude oil output.
The coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic is the defining global predicament of our time and the greatest challenge we have faced in several generations. Countries are locked down. Travel is severely restricted. Traditional havens are compromised. If this episode has taught us any fundamental lesson, it is that for those of us in positions of authority, our efforts to effect and affect positive change must be deliberate and urgent in fulfilling the obligation.
The state governor performs the groundbreaking ceremony in the company of the dignitaries present, marking the coming to life of the Infectious Diseases Hospital, which will stand on 1,586 square meter land and will serve as a zonal isolation center for COVID-19 and a referral hospital for communicable diseases. The 21 billion naira worth oil and gas industry-wide intervention is set to likely increase as the NNPC-Led coalition plans to build at least 2 hospitals and a world-class diagnostic center in each of the geopolitical zones in the country, in addition to the 250 temporary bed facilities it is providing to support government's efforts in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic.